Ladies and gentlemen, it's Pat Sajak Live. Starring Pat Sajak, the host of Wheel of Fortune, America's most popular syndicated program in the history of television. And his co-hosts, WCCO's own Pat Miles and Don Shelby. And now, live from high atop the WCCO Communication Center in the heart of beautiful downtown Minneapolis, let's join Pat, and Don.
Welcome to Pat Sajak Live. I'm Don Shelby along with Pat Miles. You may recognize the guy over here who, through the magic of television, was only 2 minutes ago in Los Angeles, but is now in the fine city.
You looked great in the wheel. It looked like the close of a Looney Tunes cartoon when it was kind of.
This could do wonders for our career, Pat.
I think I see big things as a result of this.
Listen, we are happy to have you here. I know that it's been a busy couple of days, and really above and beyond the call for those of you who do not know, but Pat Sajak agreed to come to the Twin Cities, participate tonight in the Aquatennial Parade coverage with us, and also do an hour-long special and do every other thing. What have you been doing since you've been here?
But it's been fun. We're going to see a little bit later some of the things I've been up to the last 28 hours or so. But when you include a Twins victory, you know, and watching a great parade and being with you two, the time goes very quickly.
Really, couldn't be better, huh? Yeah. Now, you are a big Twins fan, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. First of all, I love the Metrodome. I've heard mixed feelings about it around the country, but I love it. It's a unique ballpark, and it's a fun place to watch a ball game. And, of course, yesterday was such a great game.
You claim some credit, by the way, for the victory.
I sort of lobbed out the first ball. I didn't actually throw it.
I heard you this morning on one of your many stops talking to Tom Kelly. Tom suggested that perhaps you don't have the most blazing fastball.
Tom suggested a girls' softball team for me, is what he really suggested.
Well, we had, earlier this week, Bill Carlson took a trip out to California. He wanted to find out more about Vanna White because she could not be with us tonight. So Bill went to California, and he had an opportunity to visit with her and talk to her. We're going to see that later, but we're going to talk to Pat right now about some of the things he did and look at a tape that was made earlier today as he got off.
They caught me as soon as I stepped off the plane, and the cameras were at me all the time. Take a look. This is fun. The airport welcome was a little unexpected. It wasn't a little unexpected. It was a lot unexpected. I don't often have cameras when I get off the planes.
He's right behind us.
You do feel that there must be someone important, you know, behind you or something, because normally you don't have that. But it got us off to an exciting start. Notice how people grab my bags. I don't have to carry them. You know, I like keeping busy when I come to a place. I mean, one of the reasons you go is to be busy and have kind of a high profile and all that. The drawback is you really don't get to see much of the city itself.
Here is basically a line-by-line item on how the program's going to go. You're going live right out here from the deck. We're all praying for nice weather. Okay. And if not, you're going from right here. It reads best this direction. Okay.
One of the things I do well is deal with off-the-cuff things. And I can't take much credit for that. There's just something in my nature that allows me to do that. And I like just kind of being thrown into the middle of a situation, and I like the challenge of making something out of that and making it work.
The Metrodome for the Twins game, Twins Yankees.
Twins Yankees.
I mean,
baseball.
Yankees. Yeah, Twins. You know all about the Twins. Yeah. And you're going to be tossing the ball.
Yeah. One of the benefits of I don't know, being yourself on television, not playing a character, is that the thing with people is actually a little easier, because people generally just say, "Hi, Pat, how you doing? I like the show," or whatever, and that's very, very nice. I mean, gee, the fact that they recognize me means that the show is doing well, and that's only a benefit.
Okay, it's all yours. You can go on.
I'm not going. I'm not going. All right. Deal. All right. I don't know. That's going good. Thanks, Al. My pleasure. You take care. Good luck. What a shot. What a throw. What a guy. sometimes you forget you're famous. What I mean is you forget that you're well known because, you know, you go home and you put your feet up and you watch television and your life is the way everybody else's is. And you forget sometimes that, hey, I'm on television and people know me. So it's still a kick when you see someone like Billy Martin.
This is Pat Sajak.
Hi, Hey, how are you? I watch your show in the mornings all the time. I enjoy it very much.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Do you bring your own lunch here?
Huh?
You bring your own lunch?
They take care of me. Hot peppers. Eat one of these, boy, you'll remember it.
It was not only fun to run into Billy, but it was fun that he knew the show and enjoyed it and had some nice things to say. So right away that puts you on a kind of an equal footing, and then you can talk about baseball or whatever you want to do.
How did you become a baseball player?
Well, I don't know. It's just, I guess it's in your blood, and as early as I can remember, I sat in front of the television and went out. There's no way the same questions can be avoided because, I mean, they're not going to ask me about the economy because who cares what I think about that? You know, they're going to ask the usual stuff. And there's usually, good interviewers can usually come up with something new to make it fresh. But part of my job is to answer a question for the 100th time and make it sound fresh, because for the people listening, that's the first time they've heard it, you know, so I guess I owe them that. Wink Martindale got out of his car. And here's Wink.
Time now for the Channel 4 Mark Rosen Sports Update, brought to you by AutoMax, your low-priced, high-quality alternative for brake and exhaust repair, along with Mark's special guest, Pat Sajak from Wheel of Fortune.
Good morning.
So we got Channel 4 covered today, buddy.
What do we have it covered today? Pat's in town to, of course, take care of the Aquatennial Torchlight Parade on the only station tonight, right, Channel 4?
Help! I'm trapped in someone's kitchen. Help! Oh, Vanna! Are we doing your TV show later from your pantry? What is
I think so.
What's Vanna White really like?
Don't ask him about Vanna White before.
Oh, no one's ever asked him that before.
Don't ask him about Hey, let me tell you.
Do you know, actually, what people don't know is she's from Yugoslavia, speaks absolutely no English. Her voice is dubbed in on the show.
I'd heard that.
I don't make an effort to say I'm going to show everyone I'm a regular guy. It's just easier for me. I guess low key is a good word for me. I don't get too up or too down, and I think I bring a relatively low key demeanor to the show.
And now, here's the host of our show, Pat Sajak.
I don't mean to criticize, but so far it sounds kind of cheesy. but maybe it'll get better now.
But his word of listening, that's what I want to know.
Anyway, this is exciting. Cut it out. You sometimes feel a little inadequate because people, you don't have time to get to know people when you make a quick visit like this, and they know you because your image is reinforced every day.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm so we listened to go to Snow Queen Festival. So great to meet you.
Hi, I'm Pat Sajak out of Los Angeles.
Gina Rennell from St. Florida.
Hi,
Nice
Gina.
to meet you. I'm Jane from North Dakota.
Nice to you. Now, he's made that look like it's a lot of fun, but the fact is it's been a lot of hard work. It really
I don't know. You know, I mean, you do keep busy and you do run around, but gee, it is fun. I mean, you know, people treat you nicely, and it's grueling, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's easy to get recharged by all that. By the way, do you have the feeling we're doing a posthumous salute to someone? I have the feeling actually passed away, and what a great guy he was.
You have to understand, though, Pat, and I'm sure that you've had a little bit of a sense of it since you've been here, but the people in the Twin Cities area really are crazy about you. You've been here before. This is not your first trip, and they really do love you here.
Well, that's one of the reasons I jumped at the chance to come do this again, because we're always treated very well here. And I don't mean just, we're treated well everywhere. I mean, people like the show and enjoy it, but there is something, they do seem to have taken us really into their hearts and homes, and I don't mean to sound too corny about it, because we're talking about a game show here, folks, and yet they really have seemed to identify with something on that show, whether it's a combination of the game and me and Vanna or whatever it is. They just have adopted us, and it works, and so we won't question it. We'll go.
You're going to take somebody from here into your home because we have a contest that we're running.
Yeah, coming up, we're going to be drawing the postcards. Of course, we've been asking you all along for the past couple of weeks as we've been preparing for this show to send your postcards in here. We're going to draw a bunch of them, but one of those postcards is going to result in the winner being sent to Los Angeles, California, and going to have all the fixings, the hotel, and you can get some spending money, but most important, going to have an opportunity to audition for Wheel of Fortune. That's right. All right. We're going to find out how many people out there actually know how to play the game. We checked with some people in the Twin Cities today. Let's take a look.
Pat Sajak comes out
And then he says, let's welcome our lovely hostess, Vanna White.
And she comes out and kind of does her little squirrel.
she spins. She does a little pirouette.
And then there's applause, and then there's the contestants, and then there's applause.
Then they cut to a commercial, and they come back and begin the game.
Well, the contestants get out there and spin the wheel.
You either take a chance on spinning the wheel, or take a chance on buying a vowel, or take the chance on guessing the puzzle.
Yes, right, and she turns letters.
And if the letter is on the board, Vanna runs over and flips the letter.
Right, the letters. And they guess what this word gonna be.
The first person to figure out what the puzzle says wins all the money. And then they go off and they buy presents that are over on the side of the stage. Or
The prizes are theirs to keep, because once you
Buy a prize, it's yours to keep. Because Pat says that at the beginning of the show. And then...
You can't beat the heat, and you can't beat this deal. Come into Burger King and buy the Bacon Double Cheeseburger combo. Get a Bacon Double Cheeseburger, large fries, and a regular Pepsi. And you'll get a coupon for $2 off an album, tape, or compact disc at Musicland stores. It's a hot deal at Burger King. Save $2 at Musicland. Only at Burger King, the best food for fast times.
It's brand new, but you've known the name for years. You've never tasted it, but you've always loved what's in it. Introducing the only soft drink with pure Minute Maid orange juice and vitamin C. And when something's this good inside, there's only one thing left to do.
When it's this good inside, we gotta let it out, let it out.
In diet, too.
Nick is kids.
Nick is...
Nick is... Nick is...
Monkey Man. Nick is... Wow! Nick is...
Nick is...
Nick is...
Huh? Hey!
Nick is... Nick is... Nick is...
Nick is...
Nick is kids.
It's the question of the year. How fast can you name the 7 dwarfs?
Sleepy. And what is after Sleepy? Sleepy, happy, grumpy, dopey, sneezy, bashful, and doc.
Sleepy, happy, grumpy, dopey, sneezy, bashful, doc.
Sleepy, happy, grumpy, dopey, sneezy, bashful, doc.
Sleepy, happy, grumpy, dopey, sneezy, bashful, doc.
I can't really do it very good.
Only in theaters. Walt Disney's classic Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, rated G.
Now playing at a theater near you.
And now, let's rejoin Pat, Pat, and Don. Or is it Don, Pat, and Pat?
And welcome back to our hour-long special with Pat Sajak, who is our very special guest.
May I, before we go any further here, Don, I think you owe it to your public to put your feet up here. Just a little. No, Don, you took the trouble to be really coordinated tonight.
No, but
And you don't often see this guy in pink socks. For those of you without color sets, trust me, these are pink socks. Very, very nice. Okay.
Thanks, Pat.
All right,
you're
well,
welcome.
I'm glad you did that.
we want to remind everybody that we're going to be back with our parade coverage, and Pat's going to join us tonight in the booth to talk about the Aquatennial. Mark Rosen right now, though, is standing by at the side of the parade where it begins, and he has a report for us right from the start of the parade.
All right, Pat. First of all, let Sajak know that the Twins did indeed start the game without him tonight. They took a vote. It was 13-11. They decided to go on with the game despite the fact that Pat Sajak would not be throwing out the first ball, and Sal Butera has indeed recovered from that blistering first pitch last night that Sajak threw. I'm in the trenches here at Central University, where it's all to begin at about 8:30 here tonight. Of course, live here on Channel 4, and I'm with two of the princesses from La Crescent, Minnesota, Lori and Karen, participating in their first Torchlight Parade. And first of all, Karen, got to be a big thrill for you here tonight.
Oh, yeah, it is. I'm really looking forward to it. I know it'll be a fun parade.
Now, La Crescent, Minnesota is located where, Lori?
It's right across from La Crosse, Wisconsin on the Minnesota side.
And I see you got both you guys are wearing buttons proclaiming all these events you get to take part in. Now, the number one, of course, is the Apple Festival in La Crescent.
Right. We get to participate in a lot of different parades throughout La Crescent, Minnesota, or in Minnesota.
Now, you got your wave down, got it down to a science tonight?
Well, we've been practicing on it, and we've had plenty of practice. We hope it'll be okay.
I'm sure everyone on the Crescent will be watching. Best of luck. Have a lot of fun tonight.
Thank you very much.
I mean, we have queens, we have princesses, we have unicyclists. Come on in, guys. I'm talking all the way from Findlay, Ohio. Brian and Matt Snyder. You guys are here for the first time from the Aquatennial. Is this like a common occurrence for you getting to do all these parades?
Yes, we have about a parade every week, and we practice. It's kind of hard sometimes.
Yeah, I bet it's a lot of work. You guys are probably old hat. We don't have a lot of time here. Why don't you get on your bikes and just give us a short example of what everyone on the parade route's going to see tonight. Dale, can get a shot of this. We're talking about Brian and Matt Snyder from Findlay, Ohio. These guys are going to be going all the way across the 3rd Avenue Bridge, and they're running circles around me right now. And it should be one of the main attractions tonight here at the Aquatennial Parade. Now back to the desk in our Channel 4 studios. We'll have a lot more from the parade side a little bit later.
Okay, we're going to be looking forward to it. Appreciate it. You see, he's got shorts on. I got socks. I got these little pink socks, but he's got little shorts on.
Yeah, well, that's true. It's sort of a tie.
None of us are wearing ties. Now, listen, Pat Sajak is here, and Pat Sajak has been on the Wheel of Fortune for some time. Wheel of Fortune's been around for a while.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that?
I'm just about coming close to 6 years. I've done about 2,300 shows in those 6 years, and I'm watching the wheel go around.
Now, so it doesn't really qualify as an overnight success. A lot of people might think that, but those people who are those overnight successes have a lot in their backgrounds, and perhaps you don't know about some of Pat Sajak's, but we found out. We sent Steve Doyle out to kind of look into that video scrapbook to tell you a little bit about how the guy got to the Wheel of Fortune. You want to watch this? Do you remember?
No, actually.
Chicago, Illinois. It was here that Patrick Sajak was born and reared and nurtured a boyhood dream of an exciting career in broadcasting.
My mother still likes to humiliate me by telling me that I used to speak into kitchen spoons and pretend. I was 18 at the time. I was very young.
Pat was ecstatic when, while still in school, he landed a job at a small 250-watt radio station in his hometown. His first big break in broadcasting. So we thought.
And I found out when I went in that this was a Spanish radio station, and he played Spanish records. They did Spanish commercials. He spoke nothing but Spanish, and I, 5 minutes every hour, read the news in English. To this day, I don't know why. I didn't even know when it was time for me to read, except I'd hear my name. He'd go, "Get that of me, Pat Sajak," and I'd figure I'm on, you know.
In 1968, Pat's career was detoured via Vietnam as he found himself an Army-drafted disc jockey in downtown Saigon. A comfortable distance from the combat, though.
By the time my grandchildren ask, I think the story will grow a little bit, and we were, fighting off the enemy. They were trying to come in and steal our records or something. I'll come up with some story. But I was a fighting disc jockey overseas. That's the best I can make it. But I did have a gun. They issued me a gun. So I mean, I was a soldier. I had a uniform and everything. We talked earlier that we didn't know what we were going to talk about.
After the war, Pat's next stop was Nashville, where he worked as a radio DJ, and for the first time, as a TV weatherman, and where he's still remembered for his practical on-air jokes.
Parts marked Dan.
Was this clean? I can keep this on the air. Cold.
Well, I'd be careful. Well, what I did was I gave him the script and I said, read it. But as he was reading all this stuff, his eye would be jumping ahead, and he would see there was the foulest language on the script that he was going to have to get to in a moment. And there's not, you just end up playing to each other. He's laughing because he sees this stuff coming up, and of course there's no way he can say this on the air. I'm laughing because I know he's suffering, trying to find a way not to say this. Gosh, Dan, you didn't have to say that.
How about the weather?
And that's all we did. We just got on the air and acted silly. For why they paid us money, I have no idea.
But someone at KNBC in Los Angeles saw some promise, and where in 1977 he debuted as the nightly weatherman. It was not long before this led to this.
$27,058.
Wheel of Fortune, then in its 7th year, was slipping badly in the ratings and turned to Pat for a spark of new life.
So the question was, do I stay with a nice job at the local station, where I have some visibility in the market, or do I take a chance on what appeared to be this kind of dying game show? And I decided to go ahead. It was a national show, and my feeling was I'd establish a little credibility nationally, and then when the show was canceled, I'd go on to something else.
The rest, as they say, is history. His role on Wheel has catapulted Pat to national fame, landed him appearances on talk shows, sitcoms, and soap operas, and even a bit part in Airplane 2, the sequel. But fame, fortunately, has not seemed to jade Pat in the least. In stark contrast to the traveling trappings of wealth of his colleagues, Pat's content to drive a Ford. His perspective refreshingly in balance.
One of the reasons I think my equilibrium has been maintained is that I have been working for a long time, and it's been a sort of a gradual ascension. I mean, it's not as if I were packing groceries at a store last week and now making big money on this television show. Where you belong, in you go. I just take it from job to job, and I look on Wheel of Fortune, although I know it's been a phenomenon and all that. I really look at it as my current job, and there will be another one after this, and it won't necessarily, nor does it have to be bigger and better. God, I sound well adjusted, don't I? Really not. I have lots of problems. I'm heavily... What a guy.
Oh, my goodness. Everybody goes through that hair stage, I think.
Yeah, you know, and I love when they dig up old stuff like that. Do you notice that Ted Koppel and I used to have the same barber, it looked like?
That was not a wig, though, right?
No. This is, however.
I hate to bring up my pink socks again, but I'm going to tell you that I don't know how you can make a comment like that, knowing that you ever had hair on your head.
Had I known they were going to show that, I wouldn't have mentioned your pink socks.
Pat, speaking of your career, though, do you think ahead at all? I mean, we obviously, in broadcasting, all of us think about the fact that our jobs are not forever, although some people have lasted forever.
She's already heard.
Yes.
Well, anyway.
The news is out. But do you think about what you might want to do in the future? Anything other than...
Yeah, not specifically. I mean, it's a very difficult business in which to make plans, because, I never intended to do game shows. I never intended to do the weather before that. I mean, the doors open and you either go in them or not. I like talk. I do that, I think, well, and I've done it locally in Los Angeles. In fact, I was supposed to sub for Carson a few days, a couple of weeks ago, and there was some strike problems out there that canceled that. So eventually that might be fun, but I'm not, I have a few more spins left in me, I think. You mentioned we have the Home Bureau contest coming up later. That's going to be exciting, and I understand there's a chance that people can actually speak to me. I'm making this sound like the privilege of a lifetime. A chance to speak to me, and I'll speak back. There's a way
we want them to call. We want you to call with your questions. We have a phone number for you, so you have a
that'll make it easier.
There it is.
Yeah.
330-9000. He tells us to dial carefully.
This is not a pilot for a series, is it? This is one time only, isn't it?
I think I can solve that.
Okay. So we're going to do that a little bit later, huh? So call in and keep your questions nice.
We'll be back in just a minute.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more of Pat Sajak Live.
Selling any?
Nobody's buying.
Here's a cure for your blues.
With thousands of instant prizes, the big Pepsi 21 game is a huge opportunity. Look inside your Pepsi can. If you find a symbol like this, you'll win $1,000. Or collect numbers and symbols that total 21 and win $21. So come on, look for specially marked containers of Pepsi products and play Pepsi 21. The possibilities are gigantic.
Win bottles of Pepsi Cola and a host of valuable prizes, all by playing Pepsi's 21 game.
Only Levitt's could bring you a sale this big.
Everything's on sale.
Every piece of furniture in every Levitt showroom.
Everything's on sale.
Levitt's entire inventory is priced to sell.
Super sale.
If you buy anywhere else, you'll pay too much.
Everything's on sale.
But hurry, it starts tomorrow.
You'll love it, Super sale.
The glamour of a new car, the fine lines, the luxury, the prestige of sitting behind the wheel of an expensive automobile. All of this may be within your budget. Leasing a car means lower monthly payments and no money down. But are you really saving money? I'm Jim Newman. In the next special report for your money, we'll examine the pros and cons of leasing your next car. Tonight on the 10 p.m. report, Channel 4.
And now, back to Pat Sajak Live.
I'm Don Shelby, and this is Pat Miles and Pat Sajak on the right-hand side of your screen. And we're all live. We should point that out. You know, actually, this is, I've had a little connection to WCCO just a little while ago because your Bill Carlson came out to Burbank where we tape our show, brought a camera crew, and went into all the nooks and crannies. We let him everywhere but Vanna's dressing room, I think.
Yeah. Well, we said earlier that we invited Vanna, and she couldn't make it.
Unfortunately. But she got to talk to Bill a little bit, and we get a lot of questions about the show, what goes on behind the scenes, because obviously you see only what we allow you to see. But sometimes we let some folks back there, and Bill was one of those, and you might be interested in what goes on, and here's a look.
It's with an air of excitement that the first audience of the day enters. They'll see 2 shows taped. Another audience will see 3. Off-camera announcer Jack Clark, a veteran of many years of game shows, acts as host.
My name is Jack Clark. I'm the pronouncer on the mess.
Clark's long experience gives him an interesting perspective on this business, and he's fond of his partners in this project. About Pat Sajak,
I tell you, he is scary good, that young man. I've been doing this stuff for about 150 years, and had the pleasure of working with all of the big MC stars, and I wouldn't take anything away from any one of them because they're marvelous. Bill Cullen and Blake Bud Collier and all the rest of them, but this guy is the best. And Vanna White welcomes you here. There's a She's probably even prettier in person than she is on the tube, if you can imagine that. It doesn't seem fair.
Meanwhile, ears burning backstage, Vanna gets a few touch-ups on hair and makeup. The wardrobe folks are double-checking show numbers since Vanna's outfits have been color-coordinated with the color of the lettering on the titles for that day. Meanwhile, back in the studio, preparations continue, and announcer Jack Clark takes a few minutes to share with us his fondness for the Twin Cities.
Many years ago, I hope some of the folks there will remember, I was out there with the Jimmy Dean show during the Winter Carnival, and we spent over a week in those 2 cities and had a marvelous time. If it didn't snow so much, I'd go them all.
As staff members from both Merv Griffin Enterprises, producers of Wheel of Fortune, and NBC Television, where it is taped, continue preparation, there's concentration and professionalism, but little tension.
I mean, I've done about 2,200 of these things, so if you haven't learned it by then, you might as well quit.
Though they'll chat amiably with the audience later, Pat and Vanna stay out of view before this first show, gaining added reaction on that first introduction. Still, there's little tension and lots of camaraderie.
Hey, you can't have boo-boos on your hands when you turn letters for a living, you know?
Then the show's underway, and we get a few more insights. If you've ever wondered how Pat and the contestants keep track of letters called and dollars won, here's the answer. An offstage accountant who quickly decides figures and passes on the answers
520.
to another staff member who posts them equally quickly. And fast as that, they're in full view of Pat and the contestants who read amounts, prizes, and other information off cards, rather than looking at the objects themselves. Audience members find themselves in one continuous round of, so that's how they do it, amazement. However, some of the secrets we still only see from our special vantage point. It looks complicated and difficult, and it is, though those who do it have obvious special skills. Pat Sajak feels it suits him ideally.
We average about 8 to 10 tape days a month. And sure, I do a fair amount of traveling and promoting the show, and you do other things, but there's still a fair amount of downtime, which is just fine with me because I'm basically a lazy, good-for-nothing, shiftless bum.
I'm not her. I swear to you. I'd never lay a hand on a woman. What a great show. You know, what a life. I'm finding myself, I'm watching that fascinated. I don't see it in that perspective. You know, I'm on stage. Well, that's right. You're not back behind the board. So that's how it works. That's what I found myself saying. Yeah. We have some phone callers. Oh, boy. Well, should we take a chance? Yeah, go ahead. First person on the line, ask your question. Hi, who's this?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Who are you?
I'm great, Pat. I love your show.
Well, thank you. You have a question?
Well, I work for a very large volume Chevy dealership here in the Twin Cities metro area, and I'd like to know if I could get you into a car that better suits your image.
I missed the last line, and I maybe...
Better suits your image.
Wants to put you in a car that better suits your image.
What would that be?
What do I need to be in? Well,
You know, I get a lot of kidding about my car. I just, for some reason, I've never been real car-oriented, and I just like a car that gets me from place to place. And in fact, I once went to a restaurant in Burbank and left my car with valet parking, and they washed it while I was in the restaurant. They were too embarrassed to, because I have a dirty car. So.
Or they could park, because in L.A. cars are really
I know, so I'm just not fitting in. Anyway, next caller.
Yeah, go ahead. Hello?
Hi, you there? Hello?
I think that person's saying it.
Yeah, that's all right. Actually, I think this is the person who was on the line just went to buy a car at the Chevy dealership.
Or another dealership, yeah.
All right. Do we have anyone else there? Actually, you know, it's funny, whenever you do phone-ins, and they were telling us that the lines get jammed, but keep trying, folks.
Yeah. Yes,
and we are going to raise over $500,000 tonight.
I think we have another caller on the line now. Go ahead with your question.
Hi, Pat. My name's Judy. I'm from Minneapolis.
Hi, Judy. What can I do for you?
I'd like to know if you've ever had a woman contestant ever get more than friendly with you on or off of the air.
Thanks for calling, Judy. Next call, please.
I already asked him that question, Judy.
Well, on air, you know, on air they're so nervous about the game that there's hardly time for groping behind the scenes. You know, we have some interesting players on the show, but generally we try to separate. How am I doing? Am I pumpering around pretty good?
Call me later, Judy. I'll tell you. All right, we have another caller on the line. Go ahead with your question.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Jill Gregus, and I'm from Little Falls, Minnesota, and me and my family got your show every day, and I think it's fantastic.
Thanks. You have a question?
Oh, yeah. I was wondering if you were ever married.
I was, and I'm not.
Oh, how many children do you got?
Actually, I have a grown stepson. I have one who is almost 21. It's a scary thought, but I do. Yeah, he's going to school right now. Do you have any other questions? Height, weight? All right. National origin? Inseam?
Now, you're originally from Chicago, aren't you, Pat?
Yeah, I grew up there, and...
so you know the Midwest area.
Oh, yeah, I sure do. Who's on the line?
David Smansky.
David, what can I do for you?
I'm interested in going to the University of Minnesota and becoming a meteorologist. And I was wondering if you enjoyed your career as a weatherman.
Yeah, I did, and I would encourage you to study meteorology. I didn't, and kind of had to learn on the job. But luckily, I worked in Los Angeles, where there's no weather anyway, so it wasn't a real challenge. But I did. It's a lot of fun, and I think these folks can tell you that working on a newscast is a challenge and exciting work. So good luck. I hope you study, and I hope you have a successful career. Who else is out there?
Hi, Pat. Welcome to Twin Cities.
Thank you.
I'd like to know what's your most embarrassing situation on TV.
You knew you'd get that call.
Yeah, I know. Now, you're not counting this.
No.
Actually, I've been pretty lucky. When I started doing Wheel of Fortune, I was still doing the weather in Los Angeles. I was doing both, and I was doing the weather down the hall. And we used to tape, and literally between shows on Wheel of Fortune, because we taped 5 at a time, as you saw, I would run up to the news office and try to bang out a weather script. So we were running late that night, and as we were literally rolling the closing credits for Wheel of Fortune, I was to be on the air down the hall. I mean, in 20 seconds, and the credits stopped. I raced down the hall. I jumped into my seat, literally, as the anchorman was saying, and now here's the weather with Pat Sajak. I didn't realize that I didn't breathe on the way there, and I started hyperventilating on the air. And, you know, you want a paper bag, and I could not speak. I just wheezed for a minute. So that's when I knew I had to give one up.
And they kept the camera on you at all times.
Oh, yeah, and close-ups. They like to see pain in your eyes.
We're going to be back with more of Pat Sajak Live in just a moment.
There's some kind of thing at the end. I forget how that works.
The final contest.
They have kind of a countdown at the end. They guess, I guess, 5 or 6 letters.
And then they get 7 letters.
Last final bonus round. Oh, yeah, they just pick like 7 letters, I think it is.
Whoever's won the most money through the night gets to go to the bonus round.
And everyone always picks the same letters on that one.
Right.
It's always NERF, though, NRSTLE.
LSTRN.
Pat usually takes them over and they put them in the spotlight, and it's a vowel E. They always pick vowel E.
RNSTL.
5 vowels, yeah, and 5 consonants and 1 vowel.
There's a big winner at the end of the show, right? One person wins over the other, and he's the big winner, or she, you know.
Great tension build up for this.
And 30 seconds if it gets the phrase or the word. And if they get it, they win a car.
If they have a family in the audience, their family and friends are invited to come up on stage, and they hug and kiss. And
We'll be back with more here on the official Pat Sajak live station, WCCO, Minneapolis, St. Paul. It's your hard out, Willard Scott.
Perkins introduces 5 new basket dinners. Tummy heaven.
The 18th Duke proves that you can indeed take it with you, leaving the 19th Duke no option but to open the summer residence.
To the public, good morning. Nevertheless, we serve only Schweppes ginger ale here. Real Jamaican ginger, Schweppes, as refreshing as a dip in the royal pool.
Geronimo!
Our time is really important to us.
We both work, and with school, music lessons, gymnastics, scouts.
Well, time is at a premium. And that's why we go to Jonathan Dental.
You see, Jonathan Dental offices are open weekends and evenings, so we don't have to change our schedule to meet theirs.
And the quality of care we receive makes us feel like they really are the caring professionals.
Jonathan Dental. It just makes sense.
Check the yellow pages for the Jonathan Dental office nearest you.
You got a smile so bright. Lifetime's here to make it brighter. And if it's day or night, you know we make it all exciting. Now there's a network that's just for you, and it's Lifetime. To help you do the things you do. We help you do the
Lifetime. We help you do the things you do.
And now, let's rejoin Pat, and Don.
And we welcome you back to our live program with Pat Sajak, who is in town for the Aquatennial Parade, which begins not too long from now, downtown Minneapolis.
You have some interesting calls here in the program. Some people got a chance to talk to Pat Sajak. That section of the program goes over, and so you might as well not call anymore because we're going to move on to some other things, including the drawing for the winners to the trip to L.A.
You know, the big question is Mark Rosen still wearing shorts?
He should not be. We should have humiliated him out of that by now.
Well, why don't we go find out?
All right.
So, Mark, what's going on?
Yes, I am still wearing shorts, and I got good news for you, Pat Sajak. I know you can't hear me right now, but Ken Herbeck hit a two-run homer in the bottom of the first inning, so the Twins are beating the Yankees 2-0. That's good news. I'm hanging around these jesters again. The Aqua Jesters enjoying their 41st year. They don't look a day under, 42. We got the #1 draft choice for the Minnesota Timberwolves here. He'll be joining the Timberwolves in a couple years. And a surprise guest to join Pat Sajak. Vanna White is indeed here. Welcome, Vanna. Looking just as well. Don't get too sexy here. JoJo's here, the whole gang. JoJo, you gave us a great performance on Saturday for the Grand Day Parade. What do you got in store for us tonight?
Oh, this is great being out here again for Aquatennial. You know, we find that this is our busiest time of year, but actually we're busy all year round. We go to hospitals and nursing homes and many, many civic events. In fact, why don't you ask me how people can find out more about our club activities?
JoJo, how could people find more about your club and activities?
Well, that's funny you should ask that, Mark. You know, actually, they can call the Aquatennial office. This is downtown in Minneapolis. And I don't know if the folks are aware of this, but the entire Aquatennial Festival is built around Mark Rosen and the Aqua Jesters. Did I say that the way I was supposed to, Mark?
A little bit more emphasis on the first part, but the other end.
Well, ask me if we can introduce some of the clowns, would you?
Can you introduce some of the clowns for us?
No, we don't really have time. But I'll tell you what we will do. We'll introduce just a couple. We've got our chief, Leroy, that's right here. That's Leroy. How are you tonight?
Very good.
Okay, and then we've got our co-producers, Kelly right here, and then Len.
We're getting real short of time. You got a song for us to do before we throw it back?
Let's go. All right, we're going to close with a song we prepared especially for this. Let's tune up here. Okay. We are the Aqua Jesters, you hear so much about. The people stop and laugh at us whenever we go.
See you a little later.
One version of the Aqua Jesters to another version.
I found a group we can sing with, right? We've been telling you tonight about the prizes that are we're going to give them away tonight. And as a matter of fact, you're going to do the official drawing, aren't
Right,
you?
we have an official prize barrel here with lots of official postcards. But let's just tell you about these prizes. But I want to do this in a real game show way, if I can.
Okay.
Because we have not just prizes, but fabulous prizes. Right, Johnny?
You are, Pat. I'd be glad to. In order to be eligible for the Wheel of Fortune audition contest, participants had to send a postcard with their name, address, and phone number. And all entries had to be received by midnight, July 21st. And you know, Pat, for our big three winners, we've got some fabulous trips and merchandise. The third prize winner will receive this handsome Marantz VHS recorder with hi-fi sound, stereo TV tuner, and wireless remote control. With HQ circuitry, this VHS recorder provides the best possible reproduction and is worth over $400. And Pat, our second prize is an exciting trip for two to Las Vegas. Yes, we'll fly our winner and a guest to that glamorous city of high rollers. From the elaborate stage shows to the bustling casinos, it's Las Vegas. This fabulous second prize is worth over $1,000. Now, Pat, the grand prize in our Wheel of Fortune contest. An incredible trip for two to beautiful Los Angeles, home of Hollywood and Wheel of Fortune. In addition to round-trip airfare, our winner and a guest will receive hotel accommodations for 3 days and 2 fabulous nights, as well as $200 to help them have fun in the sun. And, of course, the highlight of this grand prize extravaganza is the opportunity to visit the studio of Wheel of Fortune and audition to be a contestant on the most popular game show in the history of television broadcasting. This outstanding grand prize is worth over $1,600 and is just waiting to be won on tonight's show. So let's go pick those lucky postcards out. Now back to you, Pat and Don.
I've been turning this, folks, since you've been looking at those. You think that's enough?
It looks like a wheel, I'm not sure.
Wow, this is heavy. All right, well, hope they won't blow away. Now, we're going to draw first for Wheel of Fortune home games, folks. We're going to give away 10 of them, so that means 10 cards, I guess. I know a lot about math.
Okay, we hope that the cards do not blow away.
And I will tell you the first winner of Wheel of Fortune home game is from Winona, Minnesota, Mary Lou Stoltman. Okay? Does that sound right?
And let's just remind all of the contestants who win that we will be in touch with you, so don't worry. Somebody will be phoning you to let you know you won.
Don will call you at home, right. Who's next here, Pat?
The next one is Rosemarie Leisky
Leesky?
Better
of
say that she's
Richfield.
from Richfield.
Or Wrightsfield.
Richfield. And we will be in touch with you, Rosemarie.
Okay. Another home game down here. I want to go into different areas. Don, what do we have here? All right. Lambert Hupsch, 6343 40th Street, North in Oakdale, Minnesota.
Could you pick some easier names, Pat?
And we also have Gordy Shepherdson, who is from Taylor's Falls.
All right. Congratulations, Gordy. We need...
I'm drawing as fast as I can.
Draw quickly.
Karen Beadle from Richfield.
All right. Karen is a winner. Now, all of these contestants win the home Wheel of Fortune game.
Next, we have Sandy Hollian, looks like.
From Edina.
Edina. Thank you very much for that. In here, we have Lucille Dodge from Minneapolis. Congratulations, Lucille. How many more? 7. Yes. Rosemary, I can't draw any faster without getting paper cuts.
Olsen.
Clear Lake, Wisconsin. Number 8.
All right, 2 to go.
2 to go.
These are for the home Wheel of Fortune game.
Lee Halston of Minneapolis. And one more.
One more.
On the side
Dig
here.
deep.
And this is for Leonard Sirius, I guess. Something like that. Serby. Oh, that's a V, not a Y. Of Roseville, Minnesota.
All right, congratulations.
For the home game. Now we're going to draw for the third prize, which is a Marantz VHS video tape recorder.
And the winner of that fine prize is Alonzo Smith of St. Paul. Congratulations, Mr. Smith.
Very good.
What's the next prize?
And our next prize?
That's right, Pat. A round-trip airfare for 2 to Las Vegas.
I think his pink socks are too tight. Mrs. Marcella Ellington of Cedar, Minnesota. Congratulations.
All right, and now for the grand prize.
The grand prize, the round-trip airfare for 2 to Los Angeles, hotel accommodations for 3 days and 2 nights, a chance to audition for the Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, can it. Barb Lesh, or Loesch, of Kimball, Minnesota. Congratulations, and Barb's going to get an opportunity to audition, and if she passes it, who knows? She may be on.
We will not lose your card, Barb. That's right, and congratulations to all of our winners. We appreciate the fact that so many people entered the contest, and our congratulations to everyone who won.
Okay, we're going to be back with more of this stuff, and we're going to take apart a Wheel of Fortune game later, too. I haven't seen one yet. We'll get back and do that and other things in a minute.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more of Pat Sajak Live.
Good friends like you are very hard to find. Stand by me, you understand. Gonna share a Coca-Cola with a friend of mine. This is the life, live up feeling. You're the heart of it. Get it every day, in every way. Coca-Cola's a part of your life. When Coca-Cola's a part of your life, can't beat the feeling.
Plywood, Minnesota's summer sale.
You betcha, Dan. Buy a new floor and pay for it by the month. Or get 5% off for cash.
Like this plush cornet carpet with Monsanto's gold label, stain-resistant nylon. Just $25 per month.
Or get 5% off for cash at Plywood, Minnesota. Carpeting, wood floors, vinyl floors, even ceramic tile.
Pay for them by the month or get 5% off for cash.
Plywood, Minnesota's summer sale. Don't forget about our new Burnsville store, County Road 42 and Burnhaven Drive.
Is chocolate great? Is peanut butter better? Have it all on sale with scoop after scoop of Queen's Choice Hard Ice Cream, smooth peanut butter topping, and rich chocolate sauce, creamy whipped topping, chocolate crunch, and a cherry. The chocolate peanut butter crunch at only $1.29. No wonder where it all went. Try it yourself at Dairy Queen.
Big news from WCCO Travel. A complete Washington, D.C. vacation for only $239 per person. Children 18 and under, only $169. This exclusive WCCO ITA package includes non-stop round-trip airfare on Jet America to Washington, 2 nights at the renowned Hyatt Regency on Capitol Hill, plus sightseeing on the Tourmobile to 18 historic sites. Go any day you wish. Extra days only $29 per person. Children stay free. Call WCCO Travel at 831-4605.
And now, back to Pat Sajak Live.
I mentioned the home game.
Yes, we gave away 10 of them.
I honestly have never seen one. So let's see what we have here. Oh, this is nice.
That is
That's genuine cardboard, folks. How much are they getting for this?
Now, you autographed, didn't you, all of the games?
Yeah, all your home winners, and you know how much more that'll make the game worth.
Listen, you've given those away. Let us give you something. I want to show you something. This is from all of us here. I want to open it for you to save some time.
So far, it's more cardboard, John.
And I'm going to pull this out, throw this away.
They did a good wrapping job.
Yeah. This is a picture of some kind, but I think you'll like it.
I'm at home watching Don Shelby unwrap something.
Didn't you, can you make some loon sounds? I understand that you can make the sound of a loon.
I can, but I
choose not
at parties.
Because
we want Pat to open his gift, and we want to show it to you, but we also have to tell you that we're going to be late for the parade if we don't leave almost immediately. So as we are looking at this, we're going to throw it to a piece on Vanna White and take off for the parade side.
Signed Les Cooper.
Thank you. It's beautiful. It really is.
We'll be back at the parade side.
It's great.
If the absolutely phenomenal and continuing success of Wheel of Fortune is a bit bewildering to some media observers, it's no less surprising to those most intimately involved with it.
People think that because we work on the show, we have the answer as to why it's gone through the roof. And you're right, we don't have a clue. And as I've often said, I think if I could figure out exactly what the secret was, I'd probably leave the show and go create 3 or 4 of my own based on that secret and become a multi-billionaire and retire on an island in the Pacific somewhere.
And if the show's success sets some records, so too does the burgeoning celebrity of its chief letter turner.
Please welcome Vanna White. Here she comes. Let's hear it for her.
I look at myself and I say, okay, here I am. I'm on the cover of all these magazines, like you're saying. You know, I'm this big celebrity, they call me. And all I do is turn letters. Why? Why me? I don't know.
Vanna's fans have also made her a publishing phenomenon Her book, Vanna Speaks, has become a bestseller. This Twin City bookstore scene is typical of those greeting her from coast to coast.
And I'm very proud of it because it's 30 years of my life, everything I've experienced, and it's the truth for a change.
What Vanna is referring to is the barrage of magazine articles which she feels often treat her unfairly.
There's a lot of things going on out there that people are writing about that aren't true about me. Those tabloids, they pick on me every week.
Yeah, do you ever
None
get
of it's
used
true.
Do you ever get used to that?
I've gotten used to it. I just laugh. I have to because every other week there's something different in there.
But then to balance things out, there's the unexpected surprise from an unexpected source.
And if a tax hike makes it to my desk, I'll veto it in less time than it takes Vanna White to turn the letters V-E-T-O.
Wow. That was quite an honor. I have that one on tape, too.
Oh, do you?
Yes, I'm going to make 5 copies just so I'll never lose it.
What's it? Vanna? Oh, Vanna.
Hi. Hi, folks.
There's an easy rapport between Vanna and her co-workers, and perhaps it's because of her vivid memories of the days of pounding the pavement looking for modeling jobs.
You start thinking, I'm the ugliest person in the world. Nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. You just have to keep on going.
Though it's tough to imagine Vanna is thinking of herself as the ugliest person in the world, her assessment of herself now rings pretty true.
I have a normal life. I crochet. I pet my kitty cats. I wake up with the birds and go to sleep with the crickets. I really do have basically a simple life. Other than being busy all the time, I'm just down home. I like chicken and dumplings and all that stuff. What is it? You can take the girl out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the girl. I think I still have the country in me. Thank you all for sticking around for 2 shows. We hope you enjoyed it. We want you to keep watching and keep enjoying the show. Bye.
Get me a ticket for an aeroplane. Got to get on the Wheel of Fortune game. I just got to win, spin the wheel again. Oh, Vanna, pick me a letter. Got me a ticket for an aeroplane. All right, I'm on the Wheel of Fortune game. I just love that sound. I'm in the bonus round. Hey, Vanna, pick me a letter. Vanna, pick me a letter. No one does it any better. I dream about you. Hey, Vanna, is there an L in that word? Anyway, I don't care how much money I got to spend. Gonna be on the Wheel of Fortune game. Won't throw in the towel till I buy a vowel. Oh, Vanna, pick me a letter. Please, Vanna, pick me a letter. All right, I'm ready to pick, baby. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. That should cover it, huh?
Well, this is Mark Rosen back at the site of the start of tonight's Torchlight Parade, the University and Central Avenue, and the parade's scheduled to start in about 40 minutes or so. And again, over 200,000 lining the streets for this great event tonight. And as Pat, and Don make their way over to the start of the parade set, I have with the number of people participating from the band side of things, at least from the banner side. You know, there are 11 bands taking part in the event tonight, and there's $5,000 first prize. There's a big contest going on for the first time, and there's a lot of people responsible behind the scenes. We have some of them here. And what's your name, and what are you going to be doing here tonight?
I'm Jack Rolfe, and I'll just be carrying a banner in front of one of the bands.
Jack, where are you from?
From Princeton, Minnesota.
And you don't know what band you'll be representing here tonight yet?
I think me and Mark here will be in front of Monticello.
Well, this is pretty exciting. Have you been practicing for this big night?
Well, we marched all year, but that's the first time we've ever done this.
Have all your friends watching?
I hope so.
What's your name? Where are you from?
Carl Harrington from Princeton.
How many of you are from Princeton here tonight?
All of us.
All of you are from Princeton. Princeton, Minnesota, well represented tonight with floats, bands, and we're looking forward to a great time. As we mentioned, it all starts about 8:40. I'm going to get back in position, too. We're going to have some special guests on the other side of the bridge here as we continue our live coverage here on Channel 4. We'll be back with Bill Carlson right after this.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more of Pat Sajak Live.
We got the juice, we got the juice, we got the fast, we got the taste.
Mandarin orange.
We got the juice.
In Mandarin orange slice.
cherry cola lovers.
We got the juice, cherry cola spice. We got the twist, we got the taste. Cherry cola, we got the juice.
In cherry cola.
Slice, slice.
What a wild and wacky year, and that's why this week's People stars our annual Readers' Poll. What did you all think about Donna Rice? Nice. Did Jim and Tammy Baker do their job religiously? Eddie Murphy, another arresting performance? Should the president ride off into the sunset? And Ollie North, truly a hero or skirting the truth? Well, People asked you, and you told us about all this and so much more. This week, our annual Readers' Poll proves what we've always said. People, that's what we're all about.
You can't beat the heat, and you can't beat this deal. Come into Burger King and buy the Bacon Double Cheeseburger combo. Get a Bacon Double Cheeseburger, large fries, and a regular Pepsi. And you'll get a coupon for $2 off an album, tape, or compact disc at Musicland stores. It's a hot deal at Burger King. Save $2 at Musicland. Only at Burger King, the best food for fast times.
Walt Disney Pictures presents the motion picture event of the year, the 50th anniversary of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. But now, here's the question of the year. Can you name all 7 dwarfs?
What'll we do?
Give up? It's Dopey, Bashful, Happy, Sleepy, Grumpy, Dot, and Sneezy.
I thought so.
They're together again, only in theaters for the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Rated G.
Now playing at a theater near you.
It's Pat Sajak Live.
And we are live at, let's see, we're at the western end of the 3rd Avenue Bridge over the Mississippi River. Pat Sajak, Pat Miles, and Don Shelby are on their way to this starting point of the 48th Annual Torchlight Parade, Minneapolis Aquatennial Torchlight Parade. As you can see, we are just prepared for this wonderful evening of entertainment, and it could hardly be better weather. We are live television, and for that reason, we had planned that Pat, and Don would be here, but they're not quite here yet. We are going to just take this message, and perhaps within the next couple of moments they will be back. In any case, we are standing by to bring you the 48th Annual Torchlight Aquatennial Parade. We'll be back in just a moment after these messages.
Set provided by L.M. Peterson Company, designers and builders and installers of contemporary solarium environments since 1979. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a presentation of WCCO Television. Stay tuned now for live coverage of the 1987 Aquatennial Torchlight Parade, next on Channel 4. This has been Johnny Donut speaking.
Does your mom know you're getting into all those delicious cookies?
They're not mine, they're Elliot's.
New delicious cookies. The affordable milk and cookie cookie.
What exactly is a medical specialist?
You can see on this scan of Jimmy's bone structure.
When do you need a medical specialist?
See that, Mary? Your baby's doing just fine.
Where do you find a medical specialist?
Thus far, the cancer is limited to the area around...
How do you know that you have the right medical specialist? For the answers, call Hennepin Faculty Associates at 347-4262. 240 medical specialists who teach, conduct research, and provide skilled specialist care.
Imagine waking up to find everything just as good as it can be. Imagine having nothing but the best to look forward to.
Skies should be sunny for the rest of the century.
Now imagine the remarkable new Prius, imported by Mitsubishi, with front-wheel drive and independent suspension, and the pure enjoyment of over 60 standard features, all for just over $5,000. The new Prius. Now that it's here, maybe everything else will fall into place. The new Prius, imported by Mitsubishi.
There are some people who desire a little more sass in their salsa.
Oh, yeah.
Who hunger for a little more soul in their tacos. Who crave a little more life in their life.
All right.
Those who crave Ortega.
At 10, 4 large clinics threaten to pull out of Physicians' Health Plan.
The 1987 Minneapolis Aquatennial Torchlight